Welcome to the Kingdom of Morocco, a land whose captivating beauty has captivated travelers for over 1,000 years. From the sapphire-covered walls of the Rif Mountains to the golden dunes on the edge of the Sahara Desert, we are about to embark on a sensory adventure that will awaken your soul and ignite your passion for travel. Morocco, strategically positioned where Africa meets Europe, across the Strait of Gibraltar, is a country where ancient traditions dance with modern aspirations. This North African kingdom, blessed with the Atlas Mountains' majesty and kissed by both Atlantic and Mediterranean waters, has been a crossroads of civilizations for over a millennium. Here, Berber heritage mingles with Arabic culture, French colonial influences blend with Spanish echoes, and Jewish traditions add their own unique flavor to create a cultural tapestry unlike anywhere else on Earth. But here's my question for you. What draws you more: the mystery of ancient Medina, where every corner holds a secret, or the raw beauty of landscapes that have inspired countless artists and filmmakers? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great destinations, and check out the link in the description for exclusive deals on flights and accommodation to Morocco. Your dream trip awaits now. Join me in exploring the most beautiful travel destinations in Morocco. Chef Chai Yuan. Nestled high in the Rif Mountains, at an elevation of 564 meters, Chef Chai Yuan emerges like a sapphire jewel against the rugged landscape of northern Morocco. This extraordinary city, located just 100 kilometers from the Mediterranean coast, serves as a gateway between the coastal plains and the mountainous interior, creating a unique microclimate that has shaped both its natural beauty and cultural identity. The geographical positioning of Chef Chai Yuan is nothing short of spectacular. Surrounded by the Rif Mountains' protective embrace, the city enjoys cooler temperatures year-round compared to Morocco's lowland areas. The mountains create natural barriers that have historically provided refuge and isolation, allowing this blue-washed wonderland to develop its distinctive character over 5 centuries. The famous blue walls, painted in various shades, from powder blue to deep indigo, carry multiple meanings. Some say it represents the sky and spiritual connection to heaven. Others believe it keeps mosquitoes away, while many maintain it's a Jewish tradition brought by Sephardic refugees. The historical development of Chef Chai Yuan reads like an adventure novel for centuries. It remained virtually closed to outsiders. Christians were forbidden entry, making it one of the world's most mysterious cities. This isolation preserved its unique character, but also meant that, when Spanish and French colonizers arrived in the early 20th century, they encountered a place that had changed little since medieval times. The city's strategic location made it a center for resistance movements, and its inaccessibility helped maintain traditional crafts, languages and customs that had disappeared elsewhere. Among Chef Choi Yoon's famous destinations, the Medina stands as the crown jewel. Walking through its narrow, cobblestone streets feels like stepping into a living painting. Every doorway, every wall, every corner offers a new shade of blue, waiting to be discovered. The central Plaza Utah El Hammam buzzes with life as locals gather in cafes. Street vendors sell fresh bread, and the call to prayer echoes from the Grand Mosque's distinctive octagonal minaret. The Kasbah, a 15th century fortress, now housing a museum and beautiful gardens, offers panoramic views of the city's blue-tinted rooftops. The Ras El Ma waterfall, just a short walk from the Medina, provides a refreshing escape, where crystal-clear mountain water tumbles over rocks, creating natural pools, where locals come to wash clothes and socialize. The Spanish Mosque, perched on a hill overlooking the city, requires a moderate hike, but rewards visitors with breathtaking sunset views that transforms Chef Choyan into a sea of blue and gold. Chef Choyan captivates with its unique, blue-painted Medina, rich Andalusian Jewish Berber cultural heritage, mountain setting, and historical significance as a former forbidden city. Key attractions include the Blue Medina streets, Plaza Utah El Hammam, the 15th century Kasbah, Ras El Ma waterfall, and Spanish Mosque viewpoint. Marrakech. Marrakech commands attention from the moment you approach. Its ancient walls, rising from the Haraz plain like a mirage made real. Strategically positioned at the foothills of the snow-capped, high Atlas Mountains, approximately 580 meters above sea level, this imperial city has served as the crossroads between sub-Saharan Africa and the Mediterranean world. For nearly 1,000 years, its location at the intersection of ancient trade routes connecting Timbuktu Fes and Tangier made it inevitable that Marrakech would become one of North Africa's most powerful and influential cities. The geography of Marrakech tells the story of human ingenuity, conquering challenging terrain. Built on semi-arid plains, where the Tensift River provides life-giving water, the city's founders created an oasis through sophisticated irrigation systems, called Keteras underground channels, that brought water from the Atlas Mountains. These engineering marvels, some dating back over 800 years, still supply water to the city's famous palm groves, which stretch across 13,000 hectares and contain over 100,000 date palms. Marrakech embodies the soul of Morocco like no other city. Here, Arab Berber and Sub-Saharan African influences merge into a vibrant tapestry that's both ancient and eternally contemporary. The city's nickname, Al-Hamra, the red one, comes from the distinctive red sandstone used in its buildings, a color that changes throughout the day, from pale pink at dawn to deep crimson at sunset. This unified architectural palette creates visual harmony, while the cultural diversity within provides endless fascination. The historical development of Marrakech spans three distinct imperial dynasties, each leaving indelible marks on the city's character. Founded in 1070 by the Marrakech quickly became the capital of an empire, stretching from Spain to Senegal. The Almohads succeeded them, constructing the magnificent Koutoubia Mosque, whose 70-meter minaret became the template for the in Seville and Hassan Tower in Rabi. The Saadian dynasty brought Renaissance influences during the 16th century, creating the exquisite Saadian tombs, with their intricate marble work and cedar ceilings. But it was under the Alru dynasty that Marrakech achieved its greatest architectural splendor. The Beria Palace, built in the late 19th century, showcases the pinnacle of Moroccan craftsmanship, with its painted wooden ceilings, marble columns, and gardens designed to represent paradise on earth. Each room tells stories of royal intrigue, international diplomacy, and artistic achievement that rival the great palaces of Istanbul and Granada. Marrakech's famous destinations create an intoxicating blend of sensory experiences. Jemer El Afner, the main square, transforms throughout the day like a living theater. Morning brings orange juice vendors and henna artists. Afternoon sees snake charmers and acrobats, while evening explodes with food stalls, storytellers, and musicians, creating a symphony of sights, sounds, and aromas that UNESCO recognized as a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage of humanity. The souk, extending from Jemaa El Fna, comprise one of the world's largest traditional markets, where over 2,600 individual shops and workshops occupy a labyrinth of covered alleys. Here, fourth-generation craftsmen create leather goods, metalwork, textiles, and ceramics, using techniques unchanged for centuries. The Mayorel Garden, created by French painter Jacques Mayorel and later owned by Yves Saint Laurent, represents Marrakech's ability to inspire international artists with its exotic beauty and creative energy. Marrakech dazzles as the red-walled imperial capital at the Atlas Mountains foothills, blending Arab and African cultures through nearly 1,000 years of history. Must-see attractions include the theatrical Jemaa El Fna Square, the vast traditional souk, stunning Bahia Palace, Koutoubia Mosque, Minaret, Saadian tombs, and the artistic Mayorel Garden. Be faster. In the rolling hills of northern Morocco, where the Middle Atlas Mountains begin their gentle rise toward the sky, lies Fez, a city that has remained virtually unchanged for over 1,200 years. Positioned strategically along the Fez River at an altitude of 546 meters, this ancient metropolis occupies a natural basin, surrounded by hills that have protected it from invaders, while allowing it to flourish as the undisputed cultural and spiritual capital of Morocco. The geographical setting of Fez creates a unique environment that has shaped its development for millennia. The city sits at the crossroads of major trade routes, connecting the Atlantic coast with the interior and linking the Sahara Desert with the Mediterranean. The Fez River and numerous natural springs provide abundant water, a precious commodity that enabled the city to support large populations and intensive craft industries that required significant water resources, particularly the famous leather tanneries. Fez represents the pinnacle of Islamic civilization in the Western world as the first capital of Morocco and the seat of the Caravine University, founded in 859 CE and recognized by UNESCO as the world's oldest continuously operating university. Fez became known as the Athens of Africa. For centuries, scholars from across the Islamic world journeyed here to study mathematics, astronomy, medicine, theology, and philosophy. The city's intellectual traditions attracted brilliant minds who made groundbreaking contributions to human knowledge while preserving ancient wisdom. Through turbulent historical periods, historical development of Fez unfolds across three distinct periods, each contributing layers to its extraordinary character. Founded in 789 CE by Idris I, the city initially served as a refuge for Muslims fleeing persecution in Andalusia and Kairouan. These refugees brought sophisticated urban planning concepts, architectural techniques, and craft traditions that formed the foundation of Fez's distinctive identity. The Almoravid and Almohad dynasties transformed Fez into an imperial capital, constructing magnificent mosques, religious schools, and public buildings that still dominate the skyline. During the Marinid era 13th, 15th centuries, Fez reached its golden age as artisans, scholars, and merchants created a level of urban sophistication that amazed European visitors. The city's craft guilds developed complex systems of quality control and training that produced goods coveted from Baghdad to Cordoba. The famous destinations within Fez create an overwhelming sensory journey through living history. The Fes El Bali, Old Fes, Medina, designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, contains 9,400 narrow alleys and passages within its 13-kilometer circuit of walls. This car-free zone represents the world's largest pedestrian area, where donkeys and mules still transport goods, just as they did in medieval times. The Karawayan Mosque Complex, with its green-tiled roofs and forest of 270 columns, supporting horseshoe arches, accommodates 22,000 worshippers, and houses one of the world's most important libraries of Islamic manuscripts. The attached university's graduates included Pope Sylvester I, who introduced Arabic numerals to Europe, and Ibn Khaldun, the father of modern sociology. The Chora Tannery offers visitors a glimpse into leather-making techniques that haven't changed since the 11th century. From viewing balconies, you can watch workers standing knee-deep in stone vats filled with natural dyes, treating hides using pigeon droppings, cow urine, and various plant and mineral substances to create the soft, colorful leather that makes Fez famous worldwide. The Bouinania Madrasa, completed in 1356, showcases the pinnacle of Marinid architecture, with its intricate geometric patterns, carved stucco, and stunning cedar woodwork. This theological college represents Islamic art's ability to create spaces that inspire both learning and spiritual contemplation. Fez enchants as Morocco's spiritual and intellectual center, home to the world's oldest university, and best-preserved medieval Islamic city. Essential visits include the UNESCO-listed Fez, El Bali Medina, historic Caravanserai Mosque and University, the fascinating Tuara leather tanneries, and the architecturally magnificent Bouinania Madrasa. Say your era. Along Morocco's wind-swept Atlantic coast, where the Sahara Desert meets the ocean, in a dramatic collision of elements, stands Essaouira, a city shaped by centuries of maritime adventure, international commerce, and artistic inspiration. Positioned 350 kilometers southwest of Marrakech, at the edge of the Argan forest, this coastal gem occupies a strategic peninsula that has attracted Phoenician traders, Portuguese explorers, and French colonial administrators, each leaving their mark on its distinctive character. The geographical positioning of Essaouira creates one of Morocco's most unique microclimates. The city benefits from year-round trade winds, that moderate temperatures, making it a refreshing escape from the intense heat of inland Morocco during summer months. These same winds, known locally as alat, have made Essaouira a world-renowned destination for winter and kitesurfing. The wide sandy beach stretches for kilometers, protected by offshore islands that create perfect conditions for water sports while providing natural harbors that have sheltered ships for over 2,000 years. Essaouira represents Morocco's most cosmopolitan face, where tolerance and diversity have flourished. For centuries, the city became known as Little Mag during the French Protectorate, but its current name means the Little Fortress in Arabic. What makes Essaouira truly special is its history. As one of the few places in Morocco where Muslims, Jews and Christians lived and worked together in relative harmony, this multicultural legacy continues today, creating an atmosphere of openness and creativity that attracts artists, musicians, and free spirits from around the world. The historical development of East showcases the vision of Sultan Mohammed I, who in 1760 commissioned French architect Theodore Cornet to design a new city that would serve as Morocco's principal Atlantic port. This planned city represented a radical departure from traditional Moroccan urban design, incorporating European military engineering concepts while respecting Islamic architectural principles. The result was a unique hybrid, a medina laid out in a rational grid pattern, surrounded by impressive fortifications that could withstand both oceanic storms and enemy attacks. During the 18th and 19th centuries, Essaouira flourished as Morocco's most important commercial port, handling up to 40% of the country's international trade. Jewish merchants, many with connections to European trading houses, established businesses that exported prized argan oil, almonds, and ostrich feathers, while importing European manufactured goods. This commercial prosperity attracted diplomatic consuls, European residents, and international traders, who built the elegant houses and warehouses that still characterize the Medina today. The famous destinations in offer visitors a perfect blend of history, culture, and natural beauty. The Scarborough Ville, the impressive sea-facing fortifications, features a battery of European cannons that once defended the harbor. These ramparts, familiar to film buffs as the setting for a stapler in Game of Thrones, provides stunning ocean views and dramatic photo opportunities, especially during sunset, when the sky explodes in shades of orange and pink. The Medina of Es, also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, differs markedly from other Moroccan medinas, with its wide straight streets and whitewashed buildings with blue shutters, a color scheme that creates a Mediterranean atmosphere, unique in Morocco. The Moulay Hassan Square serves as the city's heart, surrounded by cafes where visitors can sip mint tea, while watching street performers and local fishermen heading to their boats. The fishing port buzzes with activity every morning, as boats return with their catches, creating a colorful spectacle as fishermen sort their nets, while seagulls wheel overhead. The daily fish market offers incredibly fresh seafood that local restaurants prepare using traditional recipes, passed down through generations of fishing families. Essaouira captivates as Morocco's Atlantic port city, featuring unique 18th-century planned architecture, multicultural heritage, and perfect conditions for wind sports. Key attractions include the dramatic Scarla fortifications, the UNESCO-listed Medina with its distinctive blue and white buildings, the bustling fishing port, and renowned Thuja woodcraft workshops. Warsa's deep in the heart of Morocco, where the high Atlas Mountains surrender to the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, lies Ouarzazate, a city that serves as both the gateway to Africa's greatest desert and an unlikely international film capital. Positioned at an altitude of 1,160 meters. In the Dra Valley, this strategic oasis town sits at the intersection of ancient caravan routes, the connected sub-Saharan Africa with the Mediterranean world, creating a unique blend of desert, mystique, and modern ambition. The geographical significance of Ouarzazate cannot be overstated. The city occupies a natural crossroads where multiple valleys converge, creating fertile oasis conditions in an otherwise arid landscape. The Dra River, Morocco's longest river, begins its journey to the Atlantic from here, fed by snowmelt from the Atlas Mountains, and providing the water that has sustained life. In this challenging environment, for millennia, the surrounding landscape transitions from green oasis gardens to barren mountain slopes, to rolling pre-Sahara plains, creating some of the most dramatic scenery on Earth. Ouarzazate represents the meeting point between Arab and Berber civilizations, where nomadic desert traditions blend with settled agricultural communities. The original inhabitants were Berber tribes, who developed sophisticated irrigation systems, called fougres, to channel water from underground aquifers, enabling them to cultivate dates, almonds and vegetables in the desert's edge. These communities maintain their distinct languages, customs and architectural styles, while adapting to the harsh realities of desert life. The historical development of Ouarzazate reflects its strategic importance. Along trans-Saharan trade routes, for centuries this was where caravans loaded with gold, salt slaves, and exotic goods from Timbuktu and other sub-Saharan cities would rest and resupply before the difficult journey north through the Atlas Mountains. The wealth generated by this trade allowed local Berber chiefs to build impressive fortified residences that served as both family compounds and defensive structures. During the French colonial period, Ouarzazate was established as an administrative center to control the desert regions and the rebellious Berber tribes, who had successfully resisted Moroccan central authority. For centuries, the French built the modern town with wide boulevards and administrative buildings, while the traditional cause continued to house local families, according to ancient customs. The city's transformation into an international film capital began in the 1960s, when directors discovered that its landscapes could convincingly represent locations from Lawrence of Arabia's Middle East to the Mummy's ancient Egypt. The combination of year-round sunshine, dramatic desert scenery, skilled local crews, and relatively low costs attracted major Hollywood productions. Today, Atlas Film Studios, the largest film complex in Africa, has hosted productions worth over $120 million annually, earning Ouarzazate the nickname Warlywood. Once the residence of the powerful Glaoui family, who controlled southern Morocco for the French, showcases traditional Berber architecture, with its towering mud brick walls, decorative geometric patterns, and maze-like interior rooms, designed to provide security and privacy for extended family groups. Ben Haddou, located 30 kilometers northwest of Ouarzazate, represents the pinnacle of fortified village architecture. This UNESCO World Heritage Site, built along the former caravan route between the Sahara and Marrakech, features a spectacular collection of earthen buildings, rising like a mirage from the desert floor. Film buffs will recognize it from movies, including Gladiator, Game of Thrones, and Prince of Persia. The Fint Oasis, hidden in a valley just outside the city, provides a glimpse of traditional oasis life, where date palms create a green canopy over vegetable gardens irrigated by ancient techniques that have sustained desert communities for centuries. Desert Gateway and Film Capital, where Atlas Mountains meet Sahara Desert. Featuring ancient Hollywood movie sets and traditional oasis culture. Essential visits include the historic Tower Kasbah, UNESCO-listed 8 Benhodu Fortress Village, Atlas Film Studios, and the hidden Fint Oasis. Casablanca. Rising from the Atlantic coast, like a vision of contemporary Morocco, Casablanca commands attention as the kingdom's economic powerhouse and largest city. Located on the fertile Kayoulia Plain at sea level, this bustling metropolis of over 4 million inhabitants handles nearly 40% of Morocco's industrial production and serves as the financial capital of North Africa. Its strategic position along the Atlantic shipping routes has made it a crucial link between Africa, Europe, and the Americas for over a century. The geographical advantages of Casablanca become apparent when considering its role as Morocco's primary economic engine. The city's location on a wide coastal plain provides ample space for industrial development, while its deep water port, one of Africa's largest, facilitates international trade on a massive scale. The temperate oceanic climate, moderated by Atlantic breezes, creates year-round working conditions that have attracted international businesses and manufacturing industries, from automotive to aerospace sectors. Casablanca represents modern Morocco's aspirations and contradictions. While it lacks the medieval charm of Fez or the imperial grandeur of Marrakech, Casablanca pulses with contemporary energy that reflects Morocco's ambitions to become a modern developed nation while maintaining its cultural identity. The city's cosmopolitan atmosphere attracts young Moroccans from across the country, seeking economic opportunities, creating a dynamic melting pot where traditional values meet global influences. The historical development of Casablanca illustrates Morocco's rapid modernization. During the 20th century, originally a small fishing village called the area gained importance in the 15th century, when Portuguese traders established a settlement called Casablanca White House. After destruction by earthquake and conflict, the site lay largely abandoned until the late 19th century, when Sultan Muhammad I rebuilt it as Dar el-Bayt. The Arabic translation of Casablanca The modern city truly emerged during the French Protectorate 1912-1956 when colonial administrators chose Casablanca as Morocco's economic capital. French urban planners like Henri Prost designed a modern city with wide boulevards, European-style buildings, and comprehensive infrastructure. The construction of Morocco's largest port transformed Casablanca into North Africa's primary commercial hub, attracting international investment and immigration that created today's diverse cosmopolitan city. During World War II, Casablanca gained international fame when President Franklin Roosevelt and Prime Minister Winston Churchill met here for the Casablanca Conference in 1943, planning the Allied invasion of Europe. This historic meeting, immortalized in popular culture, established Casablanca's reputation as a place where different worlds meet and global decisions are made. The famous destinations in Casablanca showcase both architectural grandeur and modern sophistication. The Hassan II Mosque dominates the cityscape as one of the world's largest mosques, featuring a 210-meter minaret that ranks among the world's tallest religious structures. Completed in 1993, this masterpiece of contemporary Islamic architecture combines traditional Moroccan craftsmanship with modern engineering, including a retractable roof and laser beam that points toward Mecca. The mosque's location, partially over the Atlantic Ocean, fulfills the Quranic verse, "God's throne was built on water," creating a stunning visual effect as waves crash against its foundations. The Corniche Casablanca's beachfront boulevard stretches for several kilometers along the Atlantic coast, lined with upscale hotels, restaurants, and clubs that cater to Morocco's business elite and international visitors. This modern waterfront development represents Morocco's ambition to compete with Mediterranean resort destinations while maintaining its African identity. The Mohammed V Square serves as the city's ceremonial center, surrounded by important government buildings, banks and hotels, built in a distinctive architectural style that blends French colonial influences with Moroccan decorative elements. The square's fountains and palm trees create an oasis of calm in the busy commercial district. Casablanca impresses as Morocco's modern economic capital and largest city, featuring contemporary Islamic architecture, international business atmosphere, and Atlantic coast location. Major attractions include the magnificent Hassan II Mosque, the scenic Corniche waterfront, Mohammed V Square Government District, traditional Old Medina, and the film-inspired Rick's Cafe. in Atlas Mountains. Stretching across Morocco like a magnificent backbone, the Atlas Mountains rise majestically from coastal plains to snow-capped peaks, exceeding 4,000 meters in elevation. This extraordinary mountain system, extending over 2,500 kilometers from Morocco's Atlantic coast through Algeria to Tunisia, creates Morocco's most dramatic landscapes, while serving as a crucial watershed that provides water for millions of people across North Africa. The High Atlas, Middle Atlas, and Anti-Atlas ranges form distinct geographical regions, each offering unique ecosystems, cultures, and adventures. Geographically, the Atlas Mountains result from the collision between African and European tectonic plates millions of years ago, creating folded limestone peaks, deep valleys, and high plateaus that support remarkably diverse climates and ecosystems. The mountains act as a natural barrier between the Mediterranean climate of northern Morocco and the Saharan conditions to the south, creating microclimates that range from alpine conditions with winter snow to desert-like aridity in rain-shadow valleys. The High Atlas contains North Africa's highest peak, Mount Tubkal, at 4,167 meters, surrounded by 13 other peaks exceeding 4,000 meters. These mountains receive substantial winter snowfall that feeds rivers flowing both north to the Atlantic and south toward the Sahara, making them Morocco's primary water source. The diverse elevation zones support everything from Mediterranean forests to alpine meadows to desert oases, creating habitats for endangered species like the Barbary macaque and Atlas bear, now extinct. The Atlas Mountains serve as the heartland of Morocco's Berber, Amazigh peoples, who have maintained their distinct languages, customs, and traditional lifestyles for thousands of years. Mountain villages built from local stone and clay blend seamlessly into the landscape, their terraced gardens and irrigation systems representing centuries of sustainable agricultural practices adapted to challenging mountain conditions. Berber culture in the Atlas emphasizes community cooperation, environmental stewardship, and hospitality toward travelers. Traditional homes are constructed using ancient techniques that provide excellent insulation against both summer heat and winter cold, while decorative elements reflect geometric patterns found in Berber art throughout North Africa. Women's cooperatives produce magnificent rugs, textiles, and pottery that preserve traditional designs, while providing economic opportunities for mountain communities. The historical development of the Atlas Mountains as a cultural and economic region reflects their strategic importance as both barrier and corridor For millennia, Berber tribes controlled mountain passes that connected sub-Saharan Africa with Mediterranean trading centers, collecting tolls from caravan traffic while maintaining their independence from lowland empires. These mountain strongholds served as refuges during periods of conflict, allowing Berber culture to survive Arab conquests, European colonization, and modern centralization efforts. The famous destinations throughout the Atlas Mountains offer visitors unparalleled opportunities to experience both natural grandeur and authentic mountain culture. The Toubkal National Park protects the highest peaks while providing challenging trekking routes that reward hikers with spectacular views of snow-capped summits, alpine lakes, and valleys that stretch to both Atlantic coast and Saharan edge. The Uzud Waterfalls, cascading 110 meters through olive groves in the Middle Atlas, create one of Morocco's most beautiful natural spectacles. The three-tiered falls attract Barbary who play in the mist, while visitors can take boat rides to the base of the falls or enjoy traditional meals in restaurants overlooking the cascades. Traditional Berber villages like the starting point for Toubkal climbs, and Aroundi offer authentic experiences of mountain life, where visitors can stay in family guest houses, share meals prepared from local ingredients, and learn about traditional crafts like carpet weaving and metalwork. These communities practice sustainable tourism that benefits local families while preserving cultural traditions. The Atlas Mountains captivate as North Africa's highest range, featuring diverse ecosystems from snow-capped peaks to alpine valleys, authentic Burma mountain culture, and outdoor adventures, including Mount Toubkal climbing. Essential experiences include Toubkal National Park treks, spectacular Uzud waterfalls, traditional Berber villages like scenic Arika Valley, and the rose-filled Dades Valley. At the edge of the world's largest hot desert, where Morocco surrenders to the infinite expanse of the Sahara, lies Merzouga, a small village that serves as the gateway to one of Earth's most extraordinary landscapes. Located in the southeastern corner of Morocco, just 50 kilometers from the Algerian border, Merzouga sits at the foot of Erg Chebi, a spectacular sea of golden sand dunes that rise up to 150 meters high and stretch for 50 kilometers in length and 10 kilometers in width. The geographical positioning of creates unique conditions that make it one of the most accessible entry points to experience authentic Saharan desert life. The village sits at an elevation of 700 meters in the Ziz Valley, where the last permanent settlements give way to the nomadic realm of the Great Sand Sea. Here, underground aquifers, fed by distant Atlas Mountain snowmelt, create oases that have sustained human life for millennia, while seasonal lakes occasionally form after rare desert rains, attracting flamingos and other migratory birds, in a surreal contrast to the surrounding dunes. The massive Erg Chebi Dune Field represents one of Morocco's most impressive natural phenomena. These constantly shifting sand mountains, composed of fine quartz grains, worn smooth by millions of years of wind action, create an ever-changing landscape where the interplay of light and shadow throughout the day produces some of nature's most spectacular visual effects. The dune's golden color deepens to amber and orange during sunrise and sunset, while their shapes transform continuously as desert winds sculpt new contours and patterns. Marzouga embodies the intersection between settled and nomadic lifestyles that has defined Saharan civilization for centuries. The village's permanent residents, primarily from Arab and Berber backgrounds, maintain traditional desert survival skills while adapting to modern tourism demands. Many families trace their ancestry to nomadic tribes who migrated seasonally between oases, carrying goods and cultural traditions across the desert's vast distances. The Tuareg and other nomadic peoples who still traverse these regions maintain ancient customs of desert navigation, camel husbandry, and hospitality that have enabled survival in one of Earth's most challenging environments. Their deep blue traditional clothing, silver jewelry, and poetic traditions reflect sophisticated cultures adapted to desert life, while their knowledge of weather patterns, water sources, and safe travel routes represents wisdom accumulated over countless generations. The historical development of Marrakech as a significant desert settlement reflects its strategic position along trans-Saharan trade routes that connected Morocco with Mali, Niger, and other sub-Saharan African kingdoms. For centuries, this was where northern merchants would organize caravans for the dangerous but profitable journey south to trading centers like Timbuktu and Gao, carrying salt, textiles, and manufactured goods in exchange for gold, ivory, and slaves. The famous destinations around Marrakech offer visitors unparalleled opportunities to experience the Sahara's majesty and mystery. The Erg Chebi Dunes themselves represent the main attraction, where visitors can take camel treks, ranging from brief sunset excursions to multi-day expeditions deep into the sand sea. These journeys, led by local guides whose families have navigated these dunes for generations, provide authentic experiences of desert travel, while ensuring safety through intimate knowledge of weather patterns, navigation landmarks, and emergency procedures. Desert camps scattered throughout the dunes offer various levels of accommodation, from basic Berber tents that replicate traditional nomadic shelters, to luxury camps featuring comfortable beds, private bathrooms, and gourmet meals served under star-filled skies. These camps provide staging areas for activities like quad biking and photography expeditions, while offering evening entertainment, including traditional music, storytelling, and astronomy sessions. They take advantage of the desert's exceptional darkness and clear skies. Merzouga enchants as the gateway to the Sahara Desert, featuring spectacular Erg Chebi sand dunes, up to 150 meters high, authentic camel trekking experiences, traditional desert camps under starlit skies, and insights into both nomadic and settled Saharan cultures. Key experiences include camel expeditions into the dunes, luxury and traditional desert camping, seasonal flamingo lakes, and the historic Risoni market. Today's gorgeous carved by millions of years of water erosion through the limestone and marble of the High Atlas Mountains, the Dades Gorges create one of Morocco's most spectacular natural monuments located in the heart of the Atlas Mountains, approximately 100 kilometers northeast of Ouarzazate. These dramatic canyon walls rise up to 500 meters above the Dades River, creating a geological masterpiece that showcases the raw power of natural forces working across vast timescales. The geographical formation of the Dades Gorges tells an epic story of mountain building, river cutting, and climatic change that spans millions of years. The gorges begin where the Dades River, fed by Atlas Mountains, snowmelt, and seasonal rains, encounters resistant limestone and dolomite, rock layers that force the water to cut downward, rather than spread laterally. This process created narrow passages, where canyon walls tower overhead, interspersed with wider valleys, where the river meanders through fertile oasis gardens. The striking red and orange colors of the canyon walls result from iron oxide deposits in the sedimentary rocks, creating dramatic contrasts with the green vegetation along the riverbanks and the brilliant blue sky, typical of high-altitude desert climates. Different rock layers visible in the canyon walls represent distinct geological periods, providing natural textbooks for understanding North African geological history. The Dades Gorges represent the heartland of Berba, mountain civilization where communities have developed sustainable relationships with challenging mountain environments over thousands of years. The valley's numerous kasbahs, fortified villages, demonstrate traditional architecture perfectly adapted to local conditions. Thick mud brick walls provide insulation against temperature extremes, while strategic positioning on elevated terraces protects against flash floods while maximizing agricultural land use. These mountain Berber communities, they developed sophisticated irrigation systems called seguias that channel snowmelt and spring water through terrace gardens growing almonds, walnuts, figs, and vegetables. The precision of these water management systems reflects centuries of cooperation and environmental knowledge, enabling human communities to thrive in conditions that might otherwise support only sparse vegetation. The historical development of the Dades Gorges as a human habitat showcases the ingenuity required for mountain survival. Archaeological evidence suggests continuous human presence for over 5,000 years, with successive cultures adapting to climatic changes, population pressures, and external threats. Through flexible survival strategies that balanced agriculture, pastoralism, and trade. During medieval times, the valley served as a refuge for Berber tribes, resisting Arab conquest, while its strategic position along trans-Saharan routes provided opportunities for trade and cultural exchange. The numerous kasbahs built during this period served both defensive and residential functions, housing extended families, while providing protection against raids and natural disasters. The famous destinations throughout the Dades Gorges offer visitors extraordinary combinations of natural beauty, cultural authenticity, and outdoor adventure. The Road of 1,000 Kasbah, Route of the Kasbah, follows the river valley through dozens of traditional, fortified villages, each representing unique architectural solutions to mountain living challenges. These ancient settlements, some dating back over 500 years, showcase building techniques using local materials that create structures perfectly integrated with the landscape. The Monkey Fingers rock formations, carved by wind and water into fantastic shapes, resembling giant hands reaching toward the sky, provide dramatic photo opportunities, while demonstrating the ongoing power of erosion to sculpt new forms from ancient stone. These geological sculptures change appearance throughout the day, as shifting sunlight creates new patterns of shadow and highlight. The Dades Gorges astound with dramatic canyon walls, up to 500 meters high, carved through colorful limestone, traditional Berber kasbahs perched on terraces, sophisticated mountain irrigation systems, and unique geological formations. Essential experiences include driving the route of 1,000 kasbah, exploring the narrow canyon sections, photographing the Monkey Fingers rock formations, staying in traditional mountain guesthouses, and visiting during spring's Rose Festival. A good year. Stretching along Morocco's Atlantic coast, like a crescent of golden sand and modern ambition, Agadir represents the kingdom's most successful transformation, from devastating tragedy to triumphant renewal. Located on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, at 30 degrees 25 N latitude, approximately 500 kilometers southwest of Casablanca, this coastal city has evolved into Morocco's premier beach destination, while maintaining authentic cultural connections to its Berber heritage and Saharan hinterland. The geographical advantages that make Agadir Morocco's leading resort destination are immediately apparent to any visitor. The city enjoys over 340 days of sunshine annually, with temperatures moderated by Atlantic breezes that create perfect year-round beach weather. The main beach stretches for 10 kilometers of fine, golden sand protected from strong Atlantic swells by the natural bay formation that has provided safe harbor for centuries. The South River estuary creates additional wetland habitats that attract migratory birds, while providing fresh water for the surrounding agricultural region. Agadir embodies modern Morocco's success in balancing international tourism with authentic local identity. The city's population includes Berber-speaking communities whose ancestors inhabited this coast for millennia, Arab families who arrived during Islamic expansion, and contemporary Moroccan migrants drawn by economic opportunities in tourism, agriculture, and fishing industries. This cultural diversity creates a welcoming atmosphere that has made Agadir popular with international visitors, while maintaining strong connections to traditional Moroccan values. The influence of Berber culture remains strong throughout the region, evident in local cuisine handicrafts and the Tamazight language spoken alongside Arabic and French. Women's cooperatives, producing argan oil and traditional textiles, provide authentic cultural experiences while supporting local communities economically. The city's markets showcase products from across southern Morocco, including spices, crafts, and agricultural goods that reflect the region's position as a gateway between Saharan and Atlantic Morocco. The historical development of Agadir illustrates both the power of natural disasters to destroy and human determination to rebuild. Better than before, the original city, founded by Portuguese traders in the 16th century, a Santa Cruz do Cabo de Gaia, served as an important Atlantic port for centuries. Under Moroccan rule, it became known as Agadir, meaning fortified granary in Berber languages, reflecting its role as a storage and trading center for the agricultural products of the South Valley. The famous destinations in and around Agadir offer visitors diverse experiences, combining beach, relaxation, cultural discovery, and natural adventure. The main beach and its 10-kilometer promenade provide world-class seaside recreation with all levels of accommodation, from luxury resorts to budget-friendly hotels, accompanied by restaurants serving fresh seafood, international cuisine, and traditional Moroccan specialties. The Agadir Oufella, Old Agadir Ruins. Perched on a hillside 236 meters above the modern city, offer panoramic views of the Atlantic coast, while preserving remnants of the pre-earthquake settlement. Climb to these ruins provides perspective on both the natural beauty that attracted original settlers and the scope of modern reconstruction achievements. Paradise Valley, nestled in the foothills of the Atlas Mountains, about 60 kilometers inland from Agadir, creates an oasis where palm trees shade natural swimming pools, fed by mountain streams. This hidden gem provides relief from coastal heat, while offering insights into traditional Burma mountain life through visits to local villages and family-run guest. The weekly Souk El Had market, one of Morocco's largest, attracts vendors and buyers from across southern Morocco every Saturday, creating an authentic commercial experience where visitors can purchase everything from fresh produce to traditional crafts, while observing the social interactions that sustain rural Moroccan communities. Agadir shines as Morocco's premier beach destination, featuring 10 kilometers of golden Atlantic coastline, year-round perfect weather, modern resort facilities, and authentic Berber cultural experiences. Key attractions include the main beach promenade, panoramic views from Agadir Oufella ruins, wildlife watching in South Massa National Park, refreshing Paradise Valley mountain oases, and the massive Saturday Souk El Had market. As our incredible journey through these 10 magical Moroccan destinations comes to an end, I hope you're feeling the same sense of wonder and excitement that I experience every time I guide visitors through this extraordinary country. We've traveled together from the blue-painted streets of Chef Choyu high in the Rif Mountains to the golden sand dunes of Morzouk at the Sahara's edge, from the ancient intellectual center of Fez to the modern beach paradise of Agadir, experiencing the full spectrum of Morocco's geographical diversity, cultural richness, and historical depth. But here's what I want you to really understand. Morocco isn't just a collection of beautiful places, it's a living lesson in resilience, adaptation, and the power of cultural diversity. Think about what we've discovered together. In Chef Choyan, we learned how different communities can blend their traditions to create something uniquely beautiful. Marrakech showed us how cities can remain vibrant for nearly 1,000 years by embracing change while honoring their roots. Fest demonstrated that knowledge and learning can survive through the darkest periods of history.